Today's video is for those of you who are wondering what it is like to live in David or Panama in general. We will be covering stores, shopping, dining, neighborhoods, and driving in David. This city is gaining more popularity with expats due to its affordability and services. So, David is also the capital city of Cherokee in western Panama. It's more of an industrial city, as you can see. So here we are going downtown through the park, the center of town. And just to let you know, there is only 5 traffic lights in all of David. Somehow the cars manage to stop and start and nose in and get around each other. And it really takes a special set of skills to learn how to drive in David. I know people that they won't drive in David. They might bring their, car, park it in a parking lot, and then take a taxi around David. And if that's what you feel comfortable doing, that's fine. So one of the apps that I would say you absolutely need when you move to David or Panama in general is the Waze app. And that app just saved me so many times because a lot of times in David and in a lot of these other places, the one-ways aren't clearly marked. Sometimes there'll be a 2-way stop or a 4-way stop, and the stop signs will be missing. And people seem to know where those stop signs are and what stops are what, but when you're new to David, you quickly find out because people start honking at you. So again, when you're going down the streets, you can all of a sudden see a set of headlights coming towards you because you didn't see the street, indicating that it was a one-way. So these things you learn by living in the city. And yeah, it's a little bit unnerving at first, but you get used to it. So the gas station on the right that we just passed, this part of the video was taken during protests with the mine. So a lot of these gas stations that we are passing, there's no gas, so there's nobody at the gas stations. But at parts of the video as well, it's post protests and people are back to normal. So here you can see they have Wendy's here. So there are a number of different fast food places like what you're used to in the United States. So you have McDonald's, Papa John's, Domino's, KFC, Burger King, Subway, and TGIF, places like that. We have many car dealerships as well in David. We have Nissan, Honda, Subaru, Mercedes-Benz, Hyundai, Dodge, Jeep, BMW, Suzuki, and of course many other dealerships. So when we were living in Canada, we didn't know what a lot of the places look like in Panama, and we were always really interested in seeing what the cities and towns look like. And every area in Panama is very different. So this is a very industrial city. There's a lot of production that goes on here in David, and you won't see a lot of, if any, skyscrapers like you will down in Panama City. So they're usually about, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories tall. Here on the left-hand side is a hotel, and there's a couple of casinos in this block. Coming up on the left-hand side here, the gray building that you can see, we stayed there at the Hampton Suites. We stayed there when we came into David when we first landed. It's a very nice hotel. Little market across the street so you can go and grab some groceries. When people flash their lights at you in an intersection, that means it's your turn to go. They're waiting for you. And again, you can see there's no traffic lights. People just seem to wait their turn. They seem to know when to go. But if you wait that half a second, sometimes the other person jumps in because they think that you're actually letting them in. So a stop sign in Canada, the United States, around the world, you stop. Here, it's kind of more of a suggestion. Here is a fella, he's out here, he's making a few dollars a day, and what he does his craft, he performs while we're all waiting for the one of the traffic lights here in David. They're kind of like street performers, but you know, they'll do this for a few cents, a dollar here, a dollar there, and it all adds up. A lot of times on the Pan American Highway, which you see just in front of you, there is an allowance going down the middle of the road, and a lot of times there'll be different vendors there selling candy or air fresheners for your car, things like that. These little green spaces, that's where they'll hang out, and then when the lights get backed up, then they'll walk down, and then you can buy sometimes a pop, some bananas, something that they've made, handicrafts, whatever. Depends on whoever's out there selling. Another grocery store to the left. So this is the Pan American Highway, and we're heading towards Costa Rica. This is the main highway through David. You see a number of bus stops, buses. You can literally get anywhere in Panama by bus. It's very cheap to take the bus. I think we took our bus trip from David to Las Lajas, and I think it cost us something like $5.75 for the two of us. A cab ride is usually between $2 and $4. So we're heading out towards where PriceSmart is on the Pan American Highway. And from my place to PriceSmart is usually about $4 by a cab. So a lot of people don't own vehicles when they move to David simply because, you know, the cost of transportation is so affordable. And PriceSmart is not right in the middle of David. It's kind of as you're coming into David from Costa Rica. So we just passed PriceSmart, and now we're coming up to Cherokee Mall, and this is one of the places. You can see the new construction here on the left-hand side. That mall part was burnt down last year, December. There was a huge fire, and it took that whole part of the mall out. So they're just rebuilding it. They're a little bit behind schedule because of the protests. The protests over the mining lasted this time, pardon me, last time in 5 weeks. So due to the mining protests, this building development is behind 5 weeks because everything came to a dead standstill. But attached to this is also the Sarah Trayson, where you could go in and get your driver's license. There was a lab there. There's clothing stores in the mall. There's grocery store on the other side. So this is a mall that I used to come to because I could pretty much do a one-stop shop. I used to like to head over to PriceSmart right after, because straight ahead of us, we keep going straight ahead, we're going to go across a backfield and end up at PriceSmart. So I'd hit these two stores for my grocery shopping, and I could pretty much get everything. So with City Mall, I used to go in there, I used to get my groceries. I could go upstairs and I could get something for the house, like batteries, a paintbrush, can of paint. You could buy a guitar up there. You can do grocery shopping, clothes shopping. So it kind of reminded me like a Walmart kind of superstore. And hopefully they will open that soon because I really miss that store. So for those of you that aren't familiar with PriceSmarts, they are like the equivalent to our Costco's that we have in Canada. Same type of warehouse idea. You come in through the one entrance, you have your membership, you show it to a person sitting down, they check it all out, and as you can see, it looks pretty much like Costco on the inside. I'm trying to wheel around my shopping cart and not have my camera in everybody's faces. But again, you can get your toothpaste and your hair shampoo, mouthwash, soft soap, detergent for your dishwasher, for your laundry. All that stuff is here in PriceSmart. These are the spices, just like back home in Costco. You must close the tops of your spices here in Panama. If you leave them open, the next time, if they're not clicked totally shut, the next time you go to use your spices, it's like a block of cement. So I just threw out 6 the other day. For some reason, they weren't all closed and they were ruined. So again, you have to remember that this is a very humid climate, so you have to store your food differently as well. And one of the things you have to do with your spices is make sure that they're totally 100% shut. And they do have food demos most days. Today they didn't, but just like Costco, you can walk around and have a demo to try and taste. They do have turkey here. It's not a big seller in Panama. A lot of chicken, tons of chicken. There is pork products. There are beef products. I believe this is the pork section. So it looks like back home, packaged the same way. $11.32 for that great big package. It's just amazing. So we're back on the road again. So there's lots of different pharmacies all over David. This is Banesco Bank here on the corner. Box shop. So you can get your Amazon here. We got a notice after 5 weeks that we had some of our merchandise finally come in. One of the trucks made it through. So here we are in box shop. So you go in and this is where you collect all your Amazon. This place is always busy. The people here are really, really nice. They're just a pleasure to deal with. So if there's something that you cannot buy in Panama, you can always order it and get it shipped here by Amazon. And box shop is pretty affordable. There's other ones out there. I think mailbox, etc. are a little bit more expensive, but you know, everybody has their own reasons for choosing their service. Here we're showing some footage, drone footage of the stores that we tend to shop at on the Pan American Highway. So there's our grocery store Ray that we go in, we shop at. Panaphoto, it has everything from all your electronic devices to dishwashers, appliances, hair care tools, TVs, things like that. Conway is like a Target. Arocha here is more like a department store like the Bay or Sears if you're living in Canada. They also have a dollar store, a craft store. They have nice clothing stores in here. Here is a little bathing suit, lingerie store on the left-hand side as you're going into the Ray grocery store. And beside that is the Do It Center, which is equivalent to a Canadian Tire. So if you're familiar with Canadian Tires, that's what Do It Center is. You can get extension cords, batteries, a washer, a dryer, a can of paint. You can get dog food, you get pet supplies, laundry detergent, coat hangers, sinks, that kind of thing. So this is Ray. It's a very clean grocery store. have a little bit of art supply here, a little bit of, that's the one thing about the stores in Panama. You can have a little bit of this here, a little bit of that there, a little bit. You just don't really know what you're going to run into in a grocery store. So you can find shoelaces tucked away in the corner, right next to dog food. It just depends on the store. So this is showing the paper products all stocked up. At one point during the protests, there were very, very limited supplies of toilet paper, kind of like COVID back in Canada. So here they are stocking the shelves, and it goes from the meat department into the bakery. This was during protests. Not a lot of people were coming in and buying birthday cakes and cakes. Usually they're pretty low in supply, but they really like to buy their baked goods. So when I did this video, we did this footage, and then it was to the point where, you know, we were tired of sitting in David. We couldn't really leave David, so we decided that we would go to Europe and visit family for a couple of weeks. So when we got back and the roads had opened, they had probably 2 or 3 people in every aisle in this store restocking, and it was pretty empty. So we see a few holes now, but in the next couple of weeks it really, really began to affect the distribution of products in Cherokee. Now everything's back to normal, and you wouldn't have imagined that there was protests for 5 weeks and that there was any problems with supply trucks coming in and out of David. So before the protests started, people did stock up, and they did go and they did get what they needed. So the people are used to this type of form of protesting, and they know that when the roads get shut down, they know that they have to have extra on hand. So that's what everybody was doing, loading up, trying to get stuff in the freezer, their dry goods, their canned goods, and things like that. And again, it just looks like a regular grocery store that you would find in the States or Canada. Only the price tag is a lot lower, which is nice. And the produce looks fabulous. A lot of the times we'll go and we'll just pick up stuff along the side of the road when we see a vendor. We do like to support the local vendors and farmers. So sometimes when we go down to La Barqueta, they have vendors set up on the side of the road, and a lot of times we'll pop in there, we'll buy watermelon, and we'll buy I was going to say piñas, that means pineapples. So we can pick up 12 bananas for $1, a pineapple for $1.50, and a great big watermelon for about $2. Panamanians really, really like their hot dogs and their chorizo sausages. A little bit of seafood, a little bit of fish, not a lot. It's usually stocked up more. This is one day where they have chicken. In some places during the protests there was no chicken. So the Romeros up by my house, they had no chicken for a few days, no eggs. So you really started to miss your bacon and eggs and chicken dishes after a while. So you can buy your beer cold right off the shelf in the grocery store. Have different types of local brewery stuff, and they also have imported beer from around the world. So it's nice to have that variety. So this is Terasa Mall. It's a little strip mall on the Pan-American Highway here in David. And the place that I'm looking at directly ahead, it's hard to see because the sun is coming in the camera. It's a Americana store, so they get a lot of different clothes in and they resell them. So it's like a secondhand store, and you can find some really great priced items there. I couldn't find any long sleeve shirts for my trip to Europe, so I dashed in there for a little bit just to see if I can find something, and I found about 4 or 5 tops with long sleeves for about $3 or $4. So that was great. So when I went to Germany, I was nice and warm. So they have Papa John's in here, and they also have American, I believe it's called Pets. Yeah. And that's a place where you can go and get your dogs groomed. You can buy your cat and dog food. And next door to that is a cellular store, so you can buy everything for your cell phone that you may need. And next to that is Brianna's, and that's a nice little jewelry store. And of course, the big box store here, which is called Do It Center. So it's like a Canadian Tire. So if you want to go and grab a snow shovel, or you want to grab some de-icer for your sidewalks, things like that in Canada, buy a light bulb, buy a can of paint, you know, buy some lawn chairs, buy a pool, anything, just anything like that is the same as Do It Center, only of course they don't have the snow products. That was probably a poor analogy to use. So here on the corner is called Katoa Coffee, and Katoa in the indigenous language means mountains. And a long time ago, a foreigner heard about the Boquete region, and he went to Boquete and he started a coffee farm and started to produce this coffee. So that's kind of a real quick overview of Katoa Coffee. Also in this branch of the mall, you have a pizza restaurant, there's a bistro. They have a really fancy pastry shop that you can get beautiful cakes and pastries at. But it's really nice. You can sit out here, have a coffee. A lot of people come down here with their laptops. And I guess they are working from home, or who knows what they're doing, but they like to sit up here and just hang out. This part of the video, there's transport trucks going by on the Pan American Highway, and that is because the protests have ended. So inside Katoa Coffee, it's kind of like our Starbucks that we have, that kind of idea. Nice and clean. They have a little section of pastries, different types of coffees, lattes, cappuccinos, and the coffee is excellent. So again, we're just going to take a quick cruise down where we have seen previously Brianna's, T-Mobile, the pet store, Americana Pet. And so we just wanted to show you what's inside a Do It Center. Again, tools, Christmas trees. Toolboxes, all the same stuff that you would find back in Canada or the United States. Nice and clean, well set up. There are a few employees at this location that speak very limited English, but I always take my phone in with me and put it in Google Translate anyways. It just makes the process a lot easier because I do not know Spanish very well, so I'm still learning, but it's not going well for me. Again, anything that you would need, a faucet, clothespins, rope, chain, you name it. So we're just going through the plumbing section here. Different types of sinks. I just love the colored toilet seats. That just kills me. So I guess they're still popular here because people are still buying them, is because they're still selling them. And the security windows, bars that you can buy for windows. Bag of cement. So these are new apartments that were built with the shops below. And these ones are, I guess, starting around $81,500 US. This Be Trendy is a very high-class clothing store. The prices reflect that. You have to get buzzed in using a doorbell. You can't just walk into the store. You have to. The clothing is of high quality. A lot of times when you're going to different stores to look for clothes, a lot of times you find the quality isn't there. And if you're a bigger size woman, you're going to find it harder to find clothes as well. So when I first came to Panama, I was quite a bit heavier, and I've lost 60 pounds since I've been here. So I do fit into, you know, the regular clothes on the rack now. But when I was a size 14, 16, it was a little bit more difficult for me to find good quality clothing. Now, I didn't know about this place, so I didn't check it, but it looks like they have some pretty good sizes as well. But again, you know, this is why we have Amazon. You can always shop your online stores as well and bring your clothes in. I just found it a little bit of a challenge to find some of the clothes that I wanted to wear in the bigger sizes, so I really had to hunt around for it. In this store, you can also buy Mary Kay, plus they carried some other cosmetic brands. They have really nice accessories. On the wall, when you first came in, on the left-hand side, there was some really nice jewelry, smaller, more delicate jewelry. And then, of course, as you've seen, some of it was kind of loud and quite big and bold. So they do have a variety of different types of jewelry in this store. This here is a menu of the spa that is just down from the clothing store. It's very clean. Nobody spoke English. I kind of had a hard time asking questions, but I used my Google Translate. They weren't too interested in kind of conversing with me or trying to converse with me in English, so or try to use a translation app. So some people don't feel comfortable when you pull out your phone and you're going to use your Google Translate. So be aware of that. Don't take it personally. It just happens sometimes that some people just don't feel comfortable. So this is a little gelato store, which is again underneath those apartments, and they had a nice variety of gelato and all the sprinkles and things that you could put on top. And again, I had a latte there and it was really good. There's my coffee. I just wanted to show the different things that they had for their social media. I'm giving it a thumbs up. And then I wanted to show this place called Furniture City, and it was next to Ray's. Now this is the same as Ashley Furniture in Canada. I'm sure, I don't know what it's called in the States. Maybe it's called Furniture City in the States like it is here. But this is where you get more of the quality furniture that you can buy and put in your home. In David, if you purchase a home here, or wherever you purchase, but you can come here and you can get a good selection. They were a little low on stock, and she had asked me to come back in a few days, but I really wanted to get the video out, so I told her that I would just do a quick overview of the stock that she had so people get an idea of the quality, because a lot of times when you're shopping downtown, there are furniture stores, and a lot of the places that come furnished rentals, the furniture is not like this. You get a lot cheaper furniture in rentals that come furnished. So if you're going to come to David or come wherever, usually the places that are unfurnished are cheaper by about $100 or $150. But if you buy your own furniture, then you'll want something probably a little bit more quality. So this is why I'm showing this video and showing Furniture City, because they have better furnishings here than what you're going to get in a rental. That's kind of what I have noticed. Unless you're going to more of a luxury rental, then you will find this type of furniture up in that price range. So this is a roadside stand, and I just wanted to show that, these are kind of all over David and all over set up along the highways in Panama. So you can be rolling down the highway and you'll find a little fruit stand, vegetable stand, and this one here is permanent, and it's by the mall where we were just showing you, Ray's Furniture City, Conway, and he's always set up here. So I decided to come in and just chat with him and see whether I could do a video and show people, what those fruit stands look like. People here use Yappy to transfer money in between the vendor and themselves to buy certain produce and things like that. That's very popular here in Panama, Yappy. So this is Federal Mall, and this mall was due to be open just before COVID, so a few of the stores had moved in and opened up, and then COVID came. So this mall is by far not populated as far as stores. They have whole branches of the mall that have maybe one store or none. So the ones that they do have are very few in here, but the people do come here and use this mall, and they do support the stores in here. As you can tell by the parking lot, it's not very busy. So this is a day, I believe, that was during the protests when we had come and we videoed this. If you come here on Mother's Day or the weekend, it's busy. That mall, the parking lot is full. So Stevens is a department store where you can find some really nice clothes and things like that. It's a big store. It has, I think, 2 stories on it. And then I kind of missed El Costco, pardon me. El Costco is another department store. And again, you can buy kids' bikes, clothes. You can buy a pool, a little stand-up pool for your children, clothes, running shoes, you name it. Titan, that's a really nice store as well. That's another department store. It also has El Forte, which is a grocery store, which is tucked in behind. And that has some really great prices for groceries. And a lot of people go there because that's known as a place that has really cost-effective groceries there. Hopefully in the next few years this mall will fill up and the businesses will support the mall and it will become a busier place to shop. offering more goods and services. They do have an excellent coffee shop upstairs. They also have a hairdressing salon in the upper part of the mall. And they also have a little area where the kids can all play, like a little bouncy castle, merry-go-round, and things like that. So you'll find a lot of times a lot of the people will bring their kids to the mall. It's air conditioned. They can play on these things that they have set up for the kids. They do have a McDonald's in there. So it's kind of a nice, cool place to come and just hang out and, you know, keep your kids busy as well. So this is a Cherokee Hospital. So this is a private hospital, and it remained open during the protests. We knew of an individual that had hurt themselves, and they had to come here at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then they ended up having to stay and get a surgery done, and they were in the hospital, I think, probably a total of, 2 weeks. Anyways, they had got really good care there, and they came home, and they didn't have any problems with anything, that, you know, no complaints about the care that they had received there. This is an optometry place where we got a pair of glasses. They have progressive glasses here. You name it, you know, all the bells and whistles on this pair of glasses, you know, and it came to $300. So, I mean, you can get glasses here for a lot less than that, but these are progressives, and again, they're traditionally more expensive, but they're nice frames, good quality, and they were excellent to deal with. So heading down this way, there are a number of different clinics. They have a maternity clinic down here. They have cardiac clinic. And down here is our dentist. So we came to the dentist in the Cherokee Hospital, and we got our teeth cleaned for $45. And my husband had some other dental work done and other stuff. I can't remember, but it was like cheap. It was like under $100. So that was out of our pocket. We do not have any sort of coverage. We don't have medical coverage here. When I go to my doctor, I just, half the time I just walk in and sit down, and if he's free, he'll see me. That's up in Boquete. I go up to Boquete. I don't know why I went up there. I read it somewhere, so I thought I'd try this doctor, and he's really good. I basically go in. I'm in and out of there probably within max 15 minutes. I have my prescription. And then I pay for that doctor's visit. So I go to the counter and I pay it by debit, and I pay $15. So around the back of the Cherokee Hospital, there is a little window, a pharmacy window. There is an ambulance to the left. We'll get a better picture of that. So there's the little pharmacy window. You can go up there and just tell them what you need, and they'll most of the time give it to you. There's a few prescriptions, of course, you can't get unless you have a prescription. Across the street, there is a lab, so you can get your blood tests down there. In Panama, you do need to have a blood test. They want to find out whether you're an A or an O positive, whatever. They want to put that on your driver's license, and that has to go on there. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because you might get in an accident and they want to know your blood type. But here is where you can get your blood work done. And here's what the ambulances look like. Some of them look like this, not all of them look like that. There is the emergency entrance there to the hospital. So this is a car wash. It's called an autobano. And they're all outside. I haven't seen one where you drive your car through and they have all the windy brushes going around the car like they do and that they have in Canada, United States. This is a car wash. You pull your car in, you can wash your car, and it's very affordable. Where I actually go up by my house, I can get my car fully detailed for $5. And depending on how bad my car is, They might have it for an hour and a half. And in that situation, if it's really bad, I think they charge me $10 once. I have no problem paying that. So here is the, I want to say the Children's and Women's Hospital, the Maternity Hospital. So this is down on the Pan American Highway near PriceSmart. So when you go to PriceSmart to do your shopping, you'll see this on the right-hand side. I walked up to it. I didn't go inside of it because when I did poke my head into the hospital, they had high security, which I've never seen. You know, one of those security booths that you have to go through at the airport. That's what I seen there. So when I poked my head in, they kind of turned around and looked at me, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to go in because I'm really not here to see anybody, but you know, I didn't want to upset anybody, so I just left. So this is the airport road heading to Enrique Malek Airport in David. So when you come to Panama and you're coming to the Cherokee province, you will fly into Panama City, and then you will most likely overnight there, and then early in the morning come out on Copa and fly into David. So when I flew back to Canada to do my working holiday and to see my family, that's why we were off doing videos for a while. Now I'm back. I had to come to this airport to fly out, and we also flew out of this airport to go to Germany. So when I flew out to Canada, I flew out on the same day. I flew from here to Panama City, from Panama City to Denver, and then from Denver into Calgary. When we flew from here to Germany, it was from here, and then from Germany to the Netherlands, and then Frankfurt. So you see these little pickup trucks full of fruit and vegetables in the back. Those, they drive to the airport, and everybody will get on the plane, and you'll be getting ready to fly to Panama City, and then you will see that the luggage goes on, and then the fruit and vegetables will go on as well. So this was during the roadblocks, so they were transporting the fruits and vegetables out by airplane because you just could not get out of David because they had the road blocked off. So that's another reason we decided to go to Germany at that time, is because, you know, we couldn't get out, we couldn't do our videos. I had just got back from Canada for my working holiday. I was all excited to, you know, get on the trail and start making videos again for you guys and put out a video every week. And then, of course, everything came to a halt for 5 weeks. So here we are in some of the neighborhoods, and I wanted to show you what some of the neighborhoods in David look like. Not all neighborhoods in David look like this. The lots aren't always this big, the houses aren't always this big, and the grounds aren't always this clean. But I wanted to show you what so you know what a regular neighborhood would look like. This house is quite upscale. You can tell by the gates, the wall, the house behind it. It's on a very big lot. Usually they have gardeners to come in and maintain those houses. But people take a lot of pride in this particular area. They keep everything clean. The roads here are not too bad. Just see the huge backyards. So some of these houses, the smaller ones, will probably rent for about $800, but mostly $1,200, $1,000 US. Every now and then you can find a good deal, but they're not as easy to come by as what you may hear about from other people's YouTube channels or videos. So if somebody says, oh, you can rent this house for $300, it's not true. And don't sell everything in Canada, move down here because you think you're going to rent one of these houses for $300 or $500. It's just not going to happen in a nice area like this. That house wasn't lived in. You can tell because of the pressure washing. People keep up with pressure washing. When you live in a country like Panama, you really have to be diligent with your sidewalks and things like that, because it doesn't take long for your sidewalks to start growing mold or mildew and things like that. So you have to really maintain your house and your home. That's why the security bars are on the windows, because people have to keep their houses open and keep the air going through them. So, you know, if you're going to keep your windows open, there's a security problem, right? So you have to have the doors and the security bars on your windows so you can keep your windows open. They're not there just to look pretty, and they are not a status symbol. Other countries like Spain have the same type of setup on their windows. I've been to Spain, they have bars on their windows there as well. I've been to Mexico, they have them there. So a lot of Latin American countries, of course, where the heat is where you're going to see these things. So you take a look at the roads. This road actually isn't too bad. There are roads in David in certain areas. I haven't shown this one in this video, but the houses are very close together. They're very small, they're very run down. There's a lot of garbage around, and there's huge potholes in the middle of the road that I call basements, that you literally have to slow right down and maneuver your way around them. Sometimes they'll come by and they will fix the potholes, and 2 months later they'll be just as bad as they were before. So in the nicer areas, they tend to have nicer roads. So when you're coming down to Panama and you're going to start looking for places to rent, and you're reading about certain areas and oh wow, this is a great deal here in this area, there's one thing that I want to mention to everybody, and that is to please do your research. Now, if you don't know this, you won't know to do this, but we have found this out, so we want to share it with people. And that is, check out the city that you're going to live in and the area of the city. And so check out the city, the area of the city, and you want to make sure that it's not in a red zone. So do some research, find out what a red zone is, because it's really important to know, especially if you think you're going to purchase a property. You want to know, and you want to avoid red zones, okay? In Canada, a lot of the places where we've lived, they don't have all the power lines. That was something that I had to get used to seeing again, is all these power lines, you know, wires hanging everywhere. And I didn't realize how much I disliked them until you're in an area again where you're seeing them. So again, it just kind of wrecks your view of things, but that's how it's done here. Maybe in the future they'll put it underground, who knows, but I'm not trying to criticize or judge, it's just how they do things here. If you go down to the Center Square in David, and you'll see all the wiring between the buildings, you really notice it. I didn't know this, but my friend who drives cab told me that a lot of the trees that you see here that are pine trees, that a lot of people put them in their yard. He said that that's for the rich. The rich people would do that, which is kind of funny, because back home we kind of think, oh wow, you must be really, you know, up there if you have a palm tree in your yard, if you're living in Canada somewhere where you can have palms, right? Well, here it's the pine tree. These beautiful areas, like I say, people really keep them manicured. They have gardeners that come in. And you know, gardeners, a lot of them will come and do your lawn for $20, $10. And I know a family that had a big property in Los Algarrobos, and they paid $20, and that was for the gardener to come in, trim up everything, and take all of the clippings and trimmings away, so they didn't leave it in the yard. This is a little fonda called Molinos. So this will cost $5.50. Pizza Verona is a great place. You get great pasta, really good pizzas, and they are more on the pricey side. What we consider pricey for Panama. They're not really pricey, but it's for Panama. This place has great food, but you're not going to get a big plate of food like you do at Molino's for $5.50. It has a beautiful outdoor area that you can sit at. Inside is air conditioning. I only ever once sat outside in the evening and wished I had sat inside, so from now on I sit inside. David is a very hot place, so you're looking at temperatures of 31 to 32. As high as 39, 40. So it's a hot place. So a lot of people find that they will need air conditioning, obviously, in their rentals when they come here or when they purchase real estate. So a lot of the homes don't have air conditioning in them, brand new houses, so you'll have to put that in. The service here at Pizza Verona is excellent. I like that you can watch the chef make the pizzas. Thin crust pizzas seem to be more common here with the restaurants that aren't like Papa John's or Domino's or things like that.
Wow.
Wow. These pizzas are huge, by the way, so we usually order a large one and take the rest home. We eat on that for a couple of lunches for a couple of days. This is ham and pineapple, mushrooms, olives, and pepperoni. That's my favorite. So I have sangria and Aperol for drinks. Big Daddy's is located up in Boquete. So if you feel like going for a little drive up the mountain, they have excellent restaurants in Boquete. So we know the owner, Chris, and he's just opened up his second restaurant called Christopher's. So this is Big Daddy's. You go down the back and you sit in the back area, and there's a bunch of kitty cats that like to hang out back there. There's our first one. Oh, there's a couple. You can watch the game here as well. They have some TVs. There's all the cats. I just love all the palms in this little back garden area. A nice fire pit. The food is really good here. If anything falls off your plate, those cats have it. So you don't have to worry about dropping anything on the floor and picking it up. Oh my goodness, the coffee here in Panama is amazing. It's so good. So this is a new restaurant called Christopher's. The food here is excellent. You can sit outside on the street. Where that window is now turned into an open bar, so people can come up now and they can sit there and they can have a drink. These tables are near the back inside the restaurant. And a couple of weeks ago we went out on the veranda there. We had a beautiful lunch. It was so nice. The breeze was blowing. The food was excellent. And they just opened, so if you haven't had a chance and you are living here in David, pop up to Christopher's and check it out. And here we are at Burrico's Mexican restaurant in Volcan. They have the most amazing food here. So if you're in Volcan, pop up here and stop in and grab some fantastic Mexican food. It's very clean, the service is excellent, and this is the owner, Jaime. He's wonderful. So take a day trip from David and head on up to Volcan. There's lots to see and do up there. Beautiful, beautiful mural. And if you're hankering for that Mexican flair, you just have to have some really good Mexican food in Panama. This is the place to be. So here we are at David's baseball stadium. This place is packed when they have baseball games. Panamanians love their baseball. Even in Terasa Mall, they have a brand new ball stadium down there. And thank you for joining us. This concludes our video for today, and we look forward to seeing you back.